Hello everybody, I am the stay-at-home dad gamer, and recently I've been playing Time and Eternity for the PlayStation 3. I got a review copy, and there will be a full written review on my site, sadgamer.com, S-A-H-D gamer. And but I figured that when this game was coming out, I remember seeing some trailers for it, and there wasn't a whole lot of the fights and gameplay shown. You know, they showed some running, they showed some of the cool graphics and whatnot, so I figured I would record some gameplay, throw a bit of it up there so people could kind of get a taste of how the game is and, you know, what it looks like, and probably throw a mini review on top of it. I'm, as of the time of this recording, I'm about halfway through the game. I've played it maybe about 18 or so hours, so seems like it's got a decent chunk, although it seems recently that a lot of RPGs I've been playing have about 35, 40 hours of gameplay, which is kind of odd. I don't know if that's like the new 80 from way back when. Anyway, as you can see, the visuals in this game are pretty cool. They're like, the enemies and the characters are animated, which looks really cool, actually. I mean, they don't really fit in the background as much as they could, but that's okay. I mean, they look really cool, and the movement's pretty good. Sometimes the animation's a bit choppy. Definitely has a lot of looping, but I appreciate the effort, and I think it actually looks really cool, even though it's not perfect. As I've just mentioned, there's the choppiness, and there are a lot of palette swaps of the various townspeople and enemies, so you'll see a lot of the same birds and ninjas and vampires and stuff, but it's still, I think it looks pretty cool. You know, the backgrounds look decent, but the movement of the characters and the different like attacks and the magic, casting magic spells and stuff, it looks really cool. And I like that. As a fan of anime, I definitely appreciate it. It looks kind of like a cartoon, obviously. It looks like an anime cartoon, but one thing that it kind of reminds me also of the point-and-click adventure games from the 90s, like Willy Beamish and Discworld and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of that style where there's like really animated characters and then almost like, I know that these aren't pre-rendered backgrounds, but you know, like different backgrounds. But anyway, on to the gameplay itself. As you've probably seen, the fights are one-on-one, but you can fight multiple enemies. It's just back-to-back, like an old Kung Fu movie, I believe I've said. Or it's just a series of fights one-on-one. But anyway, almost kind of reminds me of Punch-Out, where, you know, you have to know when you can learn when to block and when to dodge and when to attack to be the most effective. Because you can just sit there and spam the circle button, which will shoot if you're far away, or use the knife attack if you are up close. But and just, you know, if you want to heal your way through everything and use all your money for healing items. But it really behooves you to actually learn when to dodge and counter and when to use your magic and stuff. And it's actually pretty fun. I actually like, you know, trying to figure out where the enemies are, and even when they're attacking and when to counter. And once you figure out an enemy type, the palette swaps of them don't attack necessarily in the exact same order. Usually they have some different attacks. Sometimes they mix up the order, so it's not, you know, once you figure out how to fight the zombie, you'll know how to fight every zombie necessarily. You know, you'll have definitely a clue. It won't be the same fight. They definitely have patterns. That's another reason why you can Punch Out. You know, there's pattern recognition there. But the fights are pretty cool. When you're far away, you have a rifle, and the one girl, Toki, with the red hair, learns more rifle techniques, so she gets some at a distance, and Toa, the blonde-haired girl, learns more up-close martial arts and knife attack techniques, skills to use. So there is a different variety, you know, slight variety depending on which girl you are. And one neat mechanic that is actually shown later in this video, toward the end, is because the two girls live in one body, whenever you level up, it'll switch to the other girl, which is kind of cool. It's not something I've seen in games before. So, and they each can equip different passive and active skills, and they have slightly different stats, and you can actually equip them differently if you want. I usually don't, because I usually just go for pure numbers. And since most fights, you fight at range and up close, you know, it depends on the enemy, I don't necessarily make Toa all, like, up close physical sword attack skills or stats. You know, I don't necessarily just super pump that up and make her awesome at it. I usually have them kind of more even, so I can, regardless of the situation, I'm a little bit more balanced. But it's a pretty fun game. I definitely like that mechanic. The plot's pretty cool. I thought it was going to be a little bit more mystery oriented than it ended up being, because basically Toki and Toa, mostly Toki, was going to has a fiance, and on the day of the wedding they get attacked, and he is stabbed and almost killed, and she uses her powers to go back in time to prevent the people from attacking the wedding, which is kind of neat. I thought it was going to be a little bit more mystery oriented, but as you go along, you find out, who does it. But then, once you've fixed it, you go back, and then you realize that someone else tries to ruin your wedding. So it's kind of funny. So you have to go back and forth a couple times through the plot to figure out and finally get married to Mr. Dream Man, who is stuck in that dragon body right now. You will see that happens early enough. It's not really a spoiler.
Not true, right?
But anyway, there's some cool characters in the game. She has some friends, and the animation form is really neat, and the different cutscenes look pretty cool. And overall, I actually am enjoying the game so far. Like I said, I'm about halfway through as of this recording, and when I am fully done, or at least very, very close to the end, I will have a written review, as mentioned before, on my site. So you can check that out in the near future. I thank you very much for watching and listening to me talk about this game. Enjoy the rest of the video. Have a good day.
Such a horrid taste is beyond fathoming. I could feel it sucking away my vitality.
Oh, hello, my dearly departed grandfather. And there's my fish, Goldie. Didn't we flush you?
I can see a dark river. Where will it lead me?
To hell, man! Obviously.
This is what happens to anyone who eats Boss's cake. It touches you to the depths of your soul.
You're lying. Stop lying. I'm leaving.
Boss!
Wait up!
That was really something.
He didn't even tell us how to get out of here. Huh? I see something! Over there! It's a ghost! You see it too, right?
Yeah.
Are we gonna have to fight it?
I don't think we have a choice. Us ending up in this forest might not be just a random coincidence after all. It's like we're making our way through a haunted house.
Are you kidding?
Sorry to keep you waiting. If you want to run, do it now.